Hello, today I'm going to look into the case of Jodi Huisentruit. I don't know anything about this case other than she was an anchor woman who went missing and never showed up for her early morning shift at the news station. They had someone go check on her. She wasn't at her place of residence, and they found her car still there with some of her items scattered around on the pavement. So believe it or not, that's basically all I know of this case. I've heard of it, but I never did a deep dive into it, so I really don't know much more than what I just told you. So I want to see if we can figure out what happened to Jodi. If she's alive, if she's not alive, but we'll see. But when I started tuning into her energy, I did feel like this was either an acquaintance, some kind of fan of hers, or a like friend, but not like a close friend, but like an acquaintance type friend type thing. I don't know, it's hard to explain. That became obsessed with her, and I believe that Jodi did turn this male down maybe a couple of times, but at least once. Okay, so what's the energy surrounding Jodi's disappearance? What can you tell us about Jodi's disappearance that day? What can you tell us about Jodi? What's the energy around Jodi's disappearance? What are we allowed to know? You're allowed to know. Jodi's disappearance. What can you tell us about Jodi's disappearance? That one wanted to come out. Okay. So we got the Justice card upright. Let me see here. I think the truth will eventually come out, and there will be some kind of justice, which is kind of making me question that because it's been so long, but who knows? But that's what I'm picking up. There's going to be some kind of justice. The truth is going to be revealed. Of course, she wants justice. I really don't feel like she's with us anymore. Unfortunately, alleged, my opinion, not facts. What else about Jodi? What else can you tell us about Jodi, please? That one wanted to come out. We got 8 of Swords. She was trapped. I feel like no matter what she did, no matter what she said or where she went, she always felt trapped. I feel like this guy was like a shark circling its prey. Like he was always around, and I think she kind of knew it. She felt uncomfortable, but I don't think she can actually put her finger on it, on why. But she did feel like something wasn't quite right, but I don't think she expressed it to any of her friends or family at all. I think she kept it to herself. Something happened to where she knew that she was not getting out of this situation anytime soon. I think she kind of knew intuitively that she had a stalker, or someone had an obsession with her, because I feel like she she sees him around a lot. Let's see what else we can get. What else can Jodi tell us about her disappearance, please? And this person, after the abduction, kept her tied up so she couldn't escape or go anywhere. She was literally trapped. I feel like he kept her alive for a little bit, and then eventually, you know, brought everything to an end. What else can Jodi tell us about her disappearance, please? Surrounding her disappearance. What else can Jodi tell us surrounding her disappearance? Alright, we got the King of Swords, which I feel like this is the male that is obsessed with her and was stalking her. Very manipulative, really had a deep love for her. And we got the Knight of Pentacles in upright. I feel like this male many times has tried to be her knight in shining armor by saving her from certain situations, which at first she thought nothing of, but as it kept happening, that's when she started to realize that something was wrong. And he thought that if he could always be there for her hardships and stuff like that, that she would eventually fall in love with him and want to be with him. He only had eyes for her. He only wanted her. What else can you tell me about Jodi? He was working really hard to get her to notice him in a certain type of a light that he wanted her to, like, catch feelings for him, and but it just wasn't happening. She just was not interested and couldn't take no for an answer, is what I'm feeling. What else can you tell me about Jodi's energy, or the disappearance that morning? What else can you tell me? You know what I'm also getting from this card right here? I believe he had an accomplice, like somebody was driving the vehicle that he kidnapped Jodi with, or in, or whatever, however you want to say that. He kidnapped her, and there was like a driver just waiting to drive off once they got back into the car. I feel like there's two males. One helped, one was the kidnapper. What else can you tell us about Jodi? Queen of Cups, upright. Yeah, it's just confirming she knew something wasn't right. She felt it. I also feel like she felt different that morning. She felt kind of skittish, and I felt like she was trying to rush to her car. Just, okay, you know how when you're a kid or whatever like that, and you turn off the light in the basement and then you run upstairs as fast as you can because you think someone's chasing after you. This is what I feel like she tried to run to her car to get into her car so she can breathe and relax and say, okay, nobody's gonna get me, I'm fine. she didn't feel right that morning. I don't think she reported how this guy was making her feel because she was too nice of a person. She didn't want to cause any issues or have to deal with all of that. What else can you tell me about Jodi? It's King of Wands upright. I feel like there was some kind of male co-worker of hers that always felt protective of Jodi, like a brother-like energy, where he felt like he always had to protect her and keep her safe. And I think this friend of hers that was a male co-worker that was like a brother to her, I think he kind of knew about the situation a little bit, but he tried to take control of the situation by protecting her, trying to keep her safe. The guy that was obsessing over her didn't like that at all. That made him even more upset, because in his mind he's thinking that Jodi is falling for her friend and she's not. But I would think he would have told the police about this concern of her maybe having some kind of stalker or feeling uncomfortable with some kind of male that's been around a lot. So let's go into the True Crime Oracle. I love to do this. I love to like pick 5, see what I pick up from those 5, and then I like to do clarification with tarot. So that's what I'm going to do. The Jodi Huisentruit case, please. What's the energy surrounding her case? What happened to her? Who did it? 5 cards. Jodi, please. Jodi Huisentruit. Okay, surveillance. With that card, I pick up that he was watching her. He was watching her at all, as much as he could, without being noticed. He was surveilling her. And I pick up grandparent. With this card, I feel like it's an older male, not quite her age, someone older. Fire. Did he burn evidence? 2 more cards. Burn evidence? He kept her tied up somewhere. Oh, social media. See, with this card, this makes me think that he was always watching her on TV and online, because she was, you know, a news anchor. So like her face was basically anywhere and everywhere. So he watched her from all types of places. He may even, you know, recorded her newscasts so he can go back and watch them over and over and over again. That's what kind of person he is. He was like really obsessive over her. He followed her every move, and then we got tunnel. I'm not quite sure about this, to be honest. Oh, tunnel vision just popped in my head. She was the only one he wanted, and nobody else can have her but him. He was focused just on her. He didn't care about anybody else, but we'll still get some clarification cards. What can you tell me about the surveillance card, please? Clarification on surveillance. 9 of Cups, upright. It gave him pleasure watching her. He also wanted her to notice him. And I think there's been a few situations where like he would accidentally like, or pretend like he would bump into her and try to communicate with her that way, but she always just, you know, small friendly conversation and then brushed it off. When he was watching her, he would have these fantasies about her in his head and these storylines that were just not logical. But he wanted it so bad that he was going to try to make it logical, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can, actually, no, okay, grandparent. Clarify grandparent. No, he's an older male. An older male. He also had goals. His goal, which he reached, was to get to her and kidnap her. He set a goal for himself. Grandparent. You could tell us about the grandparent card, please. That's too many. I don't feel the need to take those. Grandparent. Grandparent card, please. Got the Emperor. Yeah, it's an older male, some kind of like father figure, somebody who likes to be in control. I'm getting somebody higher up. Like, a lot of people respect this guy and think highly of him. But he's very controlling, very focused on Jodi. And he is older. 40s, 50s, allegedly. This one was somebody higher up, either in her company or in some kind of company. He was like the main. I can't put my finger on it. It's an older male, higher up in some kind of company. What about this fire? What about the fire? Clarify the fire card, please. Although I feel like he burnt some evidence. He burned stuff of hers, like clothes and stuff she had on her when she was abducted. Fire, and I got the moon. He secretly burned something, and I don't think it's ever going to be found out. It's going to be kept in the dark. It's going to be kept a secret. But there's something of hers that he burned now, allegedly, in my opinion, not facts. This could possibly mean that he, I don't want to say it loud, did this to her remains, if you know what I mean. That could be a possibility as well. But this fire has something to do with evidence. It has something to do with Jodi. and it's going to be kept in the dark. Nobody's going to know about this ever, I don't believe. I believe they will eventually solve this case. They will eventually catch this guy, but I don't think they will ever find Jodi, to be honest with you. That's what I'm getting from that. That's so sad. Okay, social media. The Empress. Yeah, he watched everything he could watch about her that was out in, not public, but like, that was aired. And I also feel like he would, I don't know, would she go out in the field in like newscasts? Because I feel like he would follow her doing that too and just watch her while she did her job. Because this right here this is giving me her energy. She's very, you know, she's very loving, caring, understanding, nurturing type of person. But he would watch every aspect of her life as much as he could, either online or on television, and he did record some of her stuff so he can watch it over and over and over again. Okay, this tunnel. Temperance in reverse. It was driving him crazy to the point where he was losing control and he was feeling inside chaos in his head. He couldn't let her go any longer. He needed to have her, and he needed to have her now. Like I said before, this tunnel card was like tunnel vision, only looking at her, but he couldn't wait any longer. He had to make his move, and he had to make it right then and now. And I do still feel like there's another person that was like the getaway driver. He had to do it that day. He didn't want to wait another day. Okay, now let's see what I want to do. There's so many different ways I do these readings. Now we're going to go with what's the vibe. We're going to pick 5 from here and see if we can get anything new out of the clarification cards. I don't know if I'm going to use tarot over it or if I'm going to use the True Crime Oracle for clarification. I don't know yet. We'll see. Oh my Lord. Everything's just falling apart today. Okay. A Jodi Huisentruit. 5 cards, please. What are we allowed to know? Five cards. So we got tension, stressed out, migraines, and worry. I think that has something to do with both of them. For Jodi, it was like I said, she knew something was wrong. She was worrying that something was going to eventually happen. I think she had that feeling that something was going to eventually happen. And for him, he was stressed out because he wasn't getting what he wanted, and he knew what he had to do to get her, and he was stressed out about the whole situation. He was stressed out about how he was going to do it. He was stressed out about possibly getting caught. His fantasies about her just stressed him out because he knew that it wasn't real. It didn't happen. It's all in his head. Another. Another card for Jodi, please. Stuck, dead end, frozen. There's no way out. No way out. I believe that's Jodi's energy. She just felt like there was no way out of this situation. But I don't understand why she didn't tell anybody if she knew something was wrong. And we got karmics, third parties, haters, lesson learned. I wanted to teach her a lesson. I want to teach her a lesson about judging and rejecting people is what I'm getting. This guy felt judged by her as well. And we got chaos. And one more. Chaos is the downfall of him giving in to his temptations and abducting her. Okay, so I got two of them, so I'll just take it. It's only supposed to get one. But we got cutting ties and longing. I don't know if you could see it good. Cutting ties and longing. Longing is him wanting her all to himself and just wanting her in general, wanting her attention, her love, her body, just all of her. And cutting ties is this obsession that he had was actually I don't know how to explain this. This obsession that he had over Jodi was actually bothering him. It was bothering him how he couldn't let it go. He couldn't move on. He couldn't I don't know, just not worry about it in general. Like, it was really bothering him. And I felt like another reason why he did this is that he needed this to end so he can have less chaos going on in his head. The third party's haters, lesson learned. This could be some of his energy too, like, let's get some clarification. Actually, let's do true crime, and then we'll see if we can get more with the tarot. Clarification for each card. He wanted this obsession to end, and he felt like the only way to get it to end is to, unfortunately, in my opinion, end her alleged. Okay, what can you tell us with tension? What's tension about? Hidden. His obsession. He hid his obsession. He hid his so in the light in public around people, he would act like a normal human being with no worries and no issues and so on and so on. But then behind closed doors, it was totally the opposite. Basically, he hid his craziness, his obsession, his thoughts and feelings. It's like there were two sides of him. And I feel like this is a person that that people are like, no, there's no way he could do this. He's not that type of person. that, you know, like a person that can do no wrong. But stagnant. Wooded area. Did he? For some reason, campsite just popped in my head. Did he keep her tied up out in the wilderness at some kind of campsite that he built for himself? Like, so nobody can find her and nobody can find him? Out in a wooded area, isolated. I believe he kept her out in a wooded area, like tied up to a tree or a rock or something like that, so she couldn't escape, where nobody can find them. Karmics. Card for karmics. Caregiver. Once again, older person. This is an older person that, I don't know if this makes sense, loved her so much but hated her at the same time. We're gonna have to get more on that, because that is kind of confusing to me, to be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know. I'm only gonna give you what I get. Sometimes it's repeated information, sometimes it's new, I don't know. Chaos. Chaos, please. We got meeting for chaos. I feel like after he abducted her and got her to where she needed to be, he tried to have like a normal conversation with her, but it didn't go the way he planned. I think she started talking back to him, trying to defend herself, calling him names, you know, stuff like that. And I think this is the first time she actually officially met him. I mean, I'm sure she's seen him around, bumped into him a few times, but never actually officially met him until that happened. Longing. Double card almost came out. That's interesting. Longing card. For longing, we got love. For longing, we got love. He was wanting a relationship with her. He was wanting to spend the rest of his life with her. He was longing for her attention and her affection. Just like I said before, cutting ties. Cover up almost came out. Cutting ties. Oh, you cannot make this stuff up. Cutting ties. And then we got the death card with it for clarification. He, for entertainment purposes only, my opinion, not facts. He had to do something about her, because if she was, because as long as she was alive, he was not going to ever get over her and not going to stop all the chaos that was going on in his head, and he wanted relief from that. It's kind of like, if I can't have you, nobody can, and so I have to get rid of you type of deal. And if I don't get rid of you, I'm just going to keep driving myself crazy and going insane. And I don't want to go through that. Okay. Let's see if I can pull out any more from these cards. Some kind of older businessman is what I'm getting. Somebody of authority, somebody high up in a company, somebody high up somewhere. I don't know why police officer just popped in my head, but I don't think that's it. And if it is, that's pretty effed up. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay, tension and hidden. Clarification for tension and hidden, please. Tension and hidden. The Hermit with tension and hidden. Who's tired of being alone? Even though this is a guy of authority and high up in a company, I also feel like he is very introverted. He was very lonely, and he hid that fact, that it stressed him out. And the only person he wanted to be with was Jodi. Let me see. Let me get another card for that. Another card for clarification for the Hermit, hidden, intention, please. Can I get more clarification? Six of Swords. Yeah, he wanted to move on with his life. He didn't want to keep living in this longing, loneliness kind of situation. He wanted to move on. He wanted to be happy. He wanted partnership. He wanted to leave behind all of his depression, anxiety. And he also wanted to try to forget past trauma that happened in his life. I don't know if it's either a childhood, teenager, something in the past he wanted to try to get over. And he felt there was nobody else he could do that with besides this woman. There was something about her that he just could not let go of. There's something about her that he saw. There's something he saw in her that nobody else had, according to him. Okay, wooded area and stagnant. Queen of Cups. That's Jodi. He kept her tied up outside in the wilderness somewhere. Kept her in the woods. Eight of Pentacles. He worked really, really, really hard to try to turn her over onto his side. And she tried really, really, really hard to survive. Try to get out of the situation. I feel like there's been a few times where she's tried to escape but was unable to. I also feel like she tried acting like she was on his side and that she wasn't going to run away and that she wanted to get to know him and, you know, all that stuff just to play him so she can get away. I don't think that worked either. But she worked really hard on trying to survive and trying to get out of that situation. But unfortunately, he didn't buy it. Caregiver and karmics. This is the one I'm stuck on. Caregiver and karmics. Clarification. I didn't get much of those cards besides he's older. He felt like he had to teach Jodi a lesson. Karmics and caregiver. A card for karmics and caregiver, please. Thank you. Page of Pentacles, upright. He wanted to show her he could be loyal. He could be the one to always love and take care of her. He tried to make a relationship happen, but she refused, of course. So, this older person loved her but hated her, wanted to be with her, tried to convince her that he was loyal and faithful and a good person. He's of high authority, introvert. I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling and what's going on in my head, but it's like he wanted a relationship with her, but at the same time, he was like acting like a father figure to her, giving her advice, telling her what she does wrong, telling her how she should do something. Like, it's really, really weird like that. Like, he kept her alive to try to convert her over to his side and to be with him and let him be like the father figure in her life type thing. It's something really weird like that. Chaos meeting. I just picked up the color red and I picked up a shoe. So I'm just wondering, was there a red shoe left at the abduction scene, or there's something red and something about a shoe. Okay, so we got 2 of Swords and 10 of Pentacles for chaos and meeting. I'm rich. I can take care of you. Nobody can take care of you like I can. You either want to be with me or you will not survive. You cannot survive without me. Inner conflict in his head. It's like a love-hate relationship. And it's like they're battling out in his head. and it's driving him absolutely insane. It's confusing him. He goes back and forth on what he should do. Or he did go back and forth on what he should do. It's just, between the two, it's chaos in his head. It's chaos emotionally and mentally. I think physically it made him go insane. Like he would get angry really quick. Get frustrated really quick. It's some longing and love, which I think I already know. Longing and love. After this, we're gonna end it. Longing and love. Well, after these two piles. Well, longing and love. Maybe I'll pull 5 from a different deck and then we'll end it. Longing and love is these came out. Okay. 2 of them came out. They were in reverse. Page of Wands and the Star in reverse for longing and love. Being lonely was he felt like he couldn't get anybody else. Before his obsession grew with Jodi, I think people also noticed that he was always distracted with something. He wasn't focused on his work or conversations that people were trying to have with him. And he was hopelessly lonely. He would always wonder what was so wrong with him to where he couldn't have anybody, why nobody would be interested in him. He felt a disconnection romantically with everybody else, but then when he met Jodi or saw Jodi, something in that disconnection changed. She was the only one that made him feel some kind of certain way, and for that reason he would not let her go. He had to have her. Cutting ties and death. The Chariot card almost came out. Cutting ties and death. Yeah, this is a case of somebody that was obsessed with her. And he couldn't handle it anymore. Cutting ties and death. Thank you. Huh. The Empress. Earlier, this card was representing Jodi. So Jodi came out again. So cutting ties with death. Jodi having to get rid of her. This is how. Okay, so I cleaned up all that. Right, so I cleaned up all that. The last thing I want to do is do this deck, actually. It's What Lies Beneath. I'm going to pick 5 cards, and then we're going to end it. I just keep getting confirmation cards, and it's really frustrating. Okay, 5 cards to end this reading, please, Jodi. Got getting played. Yeah, that's him acting like someone he's not. He tried to romance her in that way too. She declined or brushed it off. And he feels like she's a liar, lied about something. He's really upset about her lying about something. Pregnancy test, interesting. Already knowing the tea. Two more. Private relationship. I got 3 more. Game over. Don't want to hear it. Falling into pieces. Okay, well, she doesn't want me to go further into it because that's all the information she's going to give me. In the past, he tried to romance her and like be the man that he actually wasn't. She was manipulated by him, but she always just brushed him off. He feels like she's lying about something, and I'm thinking that he thinks that she's lying about being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. For some reason, I think he knows. For some reason, I feel like they had a conversation enough to know that she was not seeing anybody. But in his mind, he thought that she was lying about not being in a relationship, which made him really upset because he didn't want to see her with anybody else. The pregnancy test, unsure results. I don't believe this has anything to do with pregnancy. That's not what I'm getting. What I'm getting is confirmation of how I'm unsure about this guy and how to explain what's going on in his head. Like, I'm having doubts, to be honest with you, because it's just so jumbled up in my head and I can't decipher it, and I'm trying the best I can, but I'm really unsure. So I think that's why that came out, because she knew I was unsure about the information I was getting. Obviously, already knowing the tea is her saying, you already know everything that you're allowed to know that you can know, so, you know, stop the reading. You don't need to do anymore. Game over, basically. End of reading. We're done. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to explain it anymore. Don't want to give me any information. And falling into pieces. I think this is him right now. I think this is him right now because of what he did to her. It's really bothering him. He's struggling. I think he's having nightmares of her too. I think he's having some regret because now he put himself in a different mental prison than the one before, which is not any better. Because now he's living with what he did to her, the loss of her, regret, nightmares, paranoia about getting caught. He's just falling apart in general. I think, yeah, I feel like that's what he's going through right now. he wishes he can go back in time and take it back, because now he's in a different mental prison that is worse than the one that he was in before. He thought all this would make it better, but it just made it worse. So now he's basically torturing himself. Okay, well, that's all I got for today. Everything was all alleged for entertainment purposes only, all my opinion, not facts. We have to say that, even though somebody's death isn't entertainment. I really hope you enjoy this video. I don't know when I'm going to make another one. I am having surgery on Monday, and that takes 2 weeks to recover from, so probably after that I'll make another one. I'm not sure, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support and helping me along this journey of growing my abilities and growing my channel. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys later.